Hey, good morning, everyone. Just give me a confirmation in case you can see my screen so that we can proceed with today's session. So I'm assuming I'm audible and you can see my screen as well. So once you give your confirmation, yeah, you're able. Thanks for confirming that. Okay, so I'm assuming you guys are enjoying your weekend and Hadoop learning is going to be an icing on a cake on that. Okay, let's quickly start and see what all things do we need to cover as part of speaking. So because we have covered a lot of concepts and stuff like that, which we have for the session number 15. So today's is session number 15 and key focus on it will be partitioning and bucketing. Okay, the remaining most of the sessions we covered in the previous. I want to ask you guys, so how exactly the payment stuff is going? So you are all able to with that pretty fine, or is there any issues in your assignment stuff?
Yeah, very good morning, Saji. I am Sumit this side. So I was facing some problem while installing. Anyhow, I installed, but when I was trying to launch multiple instances of Hive, like it was showing some database connectivity error. So can you tell me like why it is happening? So can't we open multiple instances of Hive in our cluster?
Oh, okay. Hi, Sumit. Nice. So you're trying to explore a lot more options. Nice to hear that. Yeah. So first thing, what I would really think is, so you are playing around with multiple other VM. So that's first instance what I can figure out from your question. So basically, what really is happening? The Hive data store or the metastore in Hive, by default, any VM instances, if you take by default, it's configured in the Derby database. So if you see for a Cloudera instances or a Hot and Work instances, what you can see is the metastore. I'm assuming you guys are pretty much familiar with the concept of metastore now, right? So in the metastore, Hive metastore is actually configured with the Derby database by default. But our ACADGIL VM, if you have been using it, so I'm sure you have been playing around with even multiple VMs. So in ACADGIL VM, what our tech support team, our support team has done is, so they have changed this Derby database, okay, and they changed it from Derby to MySQL. So what the default Derby database, one of the disadvantage of default Derby database is, it can have only one instance being open. Okay, so if you try having a Hive, so I'm assuming everyone of others understood what exactly Sumit's question is, right? So what he's trying to do is he has opened one Hive session, okay, just like one Hive session he has opened, and he's trying to do a multiple Hive sessions open. One more Hive session when you open it is getting an error. That's exactly what is happening. So I'm not sure how many of you really tried doing that. Okay, so that error is going to happen if you're going to use any CDH or a Hot and Work instances. But in ACADGIL, what we have done is we have created this particular Derby database. Instead of Derby, we have created metastore as MySQL database, and because of which you can have multiple instances created. So that's some wonderful job done by our support desk, so that you can really take advantage of all the situations. So in our VM instances, if you're using Sumit, so you should be able to get multiple instances, so you can have multiple Hive instances running. So that's one real thing, and that's one reason you might have seen in our previous session. So before me starting my Hive session, I am starting my MySQL daemon, right? MySQL daemon service is the first thing which I start before having my Hive session. So that's the key reason for that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, really. Thanks a lot for your answer. So I will trying to install a ACADGIL VM in my this particular system, so that even I could use multiple instances. Thanks a lot, Shaji. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Yeah. So once you start getting used to with the ACADGIL stuff, you will not be able to. You will not face this issue of having the multiple instances error kind of a thing. So you can play around with n number of Hive instances and then start.
Hi Saji, this is Pratik.
Hey, Pratik. I can see a lot of echo coming up. I think maybe.
Hello.
All right. Yeah. Now I'm able to hear you properly.
Saji, I have a doubt regarding advanced Hive.
Okay. Advanced. What?
In Advanced Hive, there is a topic named struct. I have a doubt regarding that. If you can clarify me in this part.
Okay, so the complex data type is what you're asking, right? So I think you're trying to do some of your assignments and you're getting stuck with some of.
Yes.
Is that the issue?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Okay. Fine. So let's do one thing. So instead of giving a lot of theory fundas, let's why don't we just try to. So what I'm assuming is the normal Hive instances, selecting Hive tables and doing minor joins and all those things you're comfortable with our previous sessions, but the complex data type, you're not able to really digest the complex data type term, right? And that's what I could sense from your questions, correct?
Yes, yes, it is quite complex.
The complex data type is quite complex for you. Fine. Let's try to firefight that complex data type stuff. So I'm actually opening the Hive instances now. That's something which we had done in our previous session. So let's try doing a hands-on, real quick one before we start our partition stuff. So anyway, today we are completely going to do the whole full-fledged hands-on. So this can be just a curtain raiser for that. All right. So Hive instance. So let me pull up some of those data set so that I can show you what really happens. I'm assuming every one of you know how exactly now we are going to see the table and stuff like that, right? So show databases. So you need to remember about that singular and plural stuff, which okay, so I'm going to use cat guild, right? Use a cat guild. I'm using a cat guild database. Okay, now show tables. I'm just trying to see if I have those tables in place. Yes, I do have the family, buck, part, and table. All right. So let's quickly see the stuff which you're talking about. Let's open some of this, executing Hive. The database we have, and we just need to. So you can see very, very minor differences from the real of how exactly I'm going to, when I'm going to create a complex table, what exactly is the difference. Let me move on this slide a little bit because it's creating hindrance for me. Okay. Let me pick up Hive docs. This should be the one. Okay. So what we're going to see here, let's pick up a very, very small data set and then get your concept pretty clear. All those things we have covered in our previous sessions. Advanced complex database. So let's bring in the entire complex data type together. So I'm assuming you guys understood kind of what are the complex data type, right? We have array, we have maps, and we have struct. Okay. So what I did is I just made every of those complex data type in one single data set. Sorry, one single table. Okay. And then we are going to see that how exactly the data is going to corresponding data we have, and how exactly we are going to see data. Okay, so let's quickly understand what exactly is that. So ID, I'm going to create a table which is known as struct table. I have ID, name, salary, subject, marks, and address. Okay, so this pretty much you might be aware of. ID is integer field, name string. You play around with this on day-to-day basis. Salary, big int. Okay, subject is now an array for me. Okay, subject is an array for me. This all comes under complex data type, right? So marks is nothing but a map for me, okay? And struct, this is exactly your pain point, okay? Struct is nothing but, I'm going to have it as city, state, and pin, okay? City, state, and pin are three different complex data type, one of the struct data type which you're going to talk. So you need to concentrate really on this part of our place, this three. Okay, let's try to. This will be Chennai, TN, and 460016. Okay, this is really something which you're going to trying to concentrate. So how exactly that has been correlated to the struct database? So first one is city, right? You can see city, and this separator, what we are going to use over here is, this is exactly your pain point. Okay, city is nothing but hash. Sorry, what do you call for? It's a dollar sign, correct? So Chennai, dollar, Tamil Nadu, dollar, and a pin code number. Okay, that's exactly how it's been defined over here as a string. So city, okay, which is string or string type, state, which is another string type, and pin, which is a big int, and these are all being separated with a dollar, right? That's exactly what you can see over here. And what makes that separation possible? When in addition to the normal table that we create, when we create it, we don't use this collection and map. Okay, so we have two additional fields over here. Collection item terminated by dollar. So what basically it says is, I have an address field, which is nothing but my last field, this particular field. Okay, and this last field is separated by a dollar sign. That's exactly what it says. The last field is separated by a dollar sign. Okay, and in that I have three different types of data sitting over there. One is city, another one is state, and another one is pin code. Okay, and that's exactly how my data looks like. First one is city, next one is a state, and the next one is a pin code. Okay, so let's quickly run this and see how exactly it's working. I'm assuming I have that data in place somewhere. Paste it. Okay, so hope you guys are aware of collection items and terminated by dollar sign, which we already have, and map key terminated by hash key. So map also we'll just have a high level look. Already exist. Okay, so that means the table is already there with a struct table. Okay, I do have this table already created. Okay, and I'm assuming everyone knows we know how exactly just to push this data in, correct? So since I already have the table, there's nothing that we need to do. Just need to understand how exactly I'm going to retrieve my data back. Okay, so that's how we are going to see it. So let's see how exactly. So I'm going to run this command and show you guys how exactly I'm going to retrieve my data back. I'll just show you quickly, even because this is some of the assignment stuff that we have to do it. I'll quickly show even how exactly the map works. So that way you understand how exactly you need to go forward. So struct, since I have my data in, so let's do a just straightforward select star from. This is something which we do as a first step, right? Let me expand this screen a little bit more so that you can fit in the entire data in one single line. Okay, select star from struct underscore table, and let's see how exactly the data looks like. Okay, so this is a chunk kind of a format which you can see, and this entire data ID, what is that, subject, or yeah, ID, name, salary, right? So one is ID, name, salary, and then whatever is the computer subjects, which is nothing but an array, right? This entire stuff is an array. And the next one is marks. So basically how it's been we are interpreting is marks. So basically when I try getting what is this marks on 5th standard, okay, I'm going to get 50. Not a studious student, but yeah. So next, when I push it on what exactly is the mark on 10th standard, I'm getting 54. What exactly 12th standard? Getting 56 back. So this is exactly the map function. Okay, and this whatever we are talking about is an array function. And the last one, which you're going to see in the curly braces, is the struct function which we spoke about. Okay, so let me just try to show you guys even how exactly the map works in a very high level, so that it's easy for you to understand the concept. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get everyone's mark. We just paste it. So basically, name of the student will be picked up, and marks of 12th standard, this is 10 plus 2, 12, right? And the graduation marks from struct table. That's exactly the query I'm going to give. Okay, so data from here, right, which is 12th standard, 56. So first guy, who's first guy? Shaji. 56 and 64 should get retrieved from this result. Okay, I'm querying what? Marks of 12th standard and marks of graduation. That's exactly the query which I'm going to run and see how exactly the data is coming up. So this is the concept of array, right? So once you get the array concept pretty clear, now let's move on to struct, which is actually your issue. And let's see how exactly I'm going to pull in data from the struct. Okay. Where did my terminal go? This is my terminal. Okay. So select name. So here also this name, every name will be listed, and what it's going to tell is address dot. So this is the kind of uniqueness that you'll be finding it over here, right? So normally what you used to do, select name, ID, city, comma, name, comma, marks, comma, salary, comma, right? But here, what we're trying to do is, this is a struct, right? You just have a look at how exactly you created the table over here. You created struct, okay, which is a kind of a parent name. Inside that you have multiple child. City, state, and pin is coming under as a child for the struct. So how exactly you're going to query it, right? Address. So this address is the parent name. So not the struct. The address is the parent name. So address dot city, okay. Then city will be pulled out. Address dot state. Then state will be pulled out. Address dot pin. Then the pin number will be. Why exactly we do that? So I have one single column, and then I want a grouping. I need a kind of a grouping, and that's one single reason for getting this struct kind of a environment being created. Okay. So let's now quickly run this and see and how exactly our data looks like. So select name, address dot city, address dot pin from struct table. Okay. From that group, I'm just trying to pick it up. So Shaji, Kanu, and the pin number, Chennai, this one. And I think here in Delhi, there is no pin number being given, and that's the reason it's giving us null. So this is how exactly you're going to pick up data from a struct complex data type. Does that sort out your doubt, Prateek? So will you be able to proceed with your assignment stuff with them? Is that
yes, Sajid. Thank you very much for this. Now I'm pretty much clear about this topic struct.
Okay, thanks. Great. So I think that's going to help you out in coming up with, completing your assignments and stuff like that. That's nice. Okay. So now,
hi Sajid, this is Kiran this side.
Hey Kiran.
And I was randomly searching for some Hive advanced topics.
Okay.
And I found that Hive is supporting some kind of MySQL transactions, like as HDFS is built in, read once means write once, read many times, right?
That's correct.
And Hive is supporting like we can write many times, means we can update a single row, we can insert one row. And,
yes. Okay.
Can you give insights about that?
All right. So basically what you need to understand is Hive before 14.1 version, I guess 14.1 or 14.2. Before this 14.1, we did not have any of those concepts like the MySQL. What exactly is the RDBMS concept doing, right? Single row updation and all those things was not supported. But post 14.2, single row update, single row retrieval of this data, and all these things are being supported. And one thing which you need to clearly understand is that's not really the reason why we really go ahead with it, because Hive is known for, in a big data environment, what you're doing, we are meant for a huge amount of data, right? So our basic intention is not really getting single row update, but since we want these features to be, that has been added with going with 14.1. Post 14.1 version or 14.2 version supports this thing, okay? And what you can do is, there is one wonderful document that has been available for you guys. I do want you guys to refer that and come up with the blog which we have, okay? I just want you guys to, I was just trying to figure out that, yeah. So this is what we have, okay? So I'm not sure how many of you guys have really tried taking our blog and reading it. So this is wonderful. Some of those sessions which has been given, you can find entire details of how exactly, what are the new features and how exactly is being given. It's some of the technical team out here guys have come up with a very wonderful documents on how exactly Hive you can go through this. It will give you a very, very perfect insight on what's really happening in the current technology. And for that matter, so I'm not sure how many of you completely relying on the offerings what we have. Okay, so I would definitely want you guys to take advantage of it. Let me show you quickly how exactly. So the moment you do acadgill.com, there is a blog section available over here. Okay, so you name it, we provide you such things. So in case, what you can do is you can even provide us something like what you really think is something latest in technology, and if you want to hear from us, please do put a comment on it and let us know what exactly the latest trending technologies and all those stuff. So that's really something which we really come up with. Okay, so you can see n number of blogs being written about big data and Hadoop. You can pick and choose, and any other subjects for that matter. So you have a complete insight of what's trending, what is the latest in technology, and what are the latest offerings happening in the market. Okay, and this can really give you a proper insight what's really happening. So I would definitely recommend you guys, in case we have not started doing it, and this is one of the best. Some of those blogs are really, really of high standard. So definitely refer this and then improve your knowledge, and then you can try taking up some of this session some of the situation that has been described over here. Pick it up and try working out on your own. That will give you a much better tech edge and better edge from the other folks. I'll definitely recommend you guys doing that.
Yeah, Shaji. Thank you very much for this. I will refer that blog for sure.
Sure. All right. So now let's see. Is there? So I guess everyone is fine with. So everyone should be able to complete assignments and how about you, Onkar? Any issue that you're facing, or what is that? Or you've mastered the art of Hadoop and the small elephant? Does it? How exactly? Is there anything that you want to really cover? Okay, great. So Onkar says he doesn't have anything more this thing. So let's quickly move on to our current topic of partitioning and bucketing concepts, and that's something which you're going to see today. So ours is, we're planning to get more of hands-on how exactly the partitioning and bucketing is being done. Okay, so that's what today's session would be. Let's quickly go through what really we have discussed, and then getting into partitioning stuff. Okay, so first and the foremost thing, what you need to understand is what really is the advantage of the partitioning. So you can see, think of a very, very typical scenario. I have a big industry, for example. Okay, so think of a corporate like IBM. Okay, I'm actually a CEO of IBM now. The entire global IBM, I'm handling it, and I have IBM situation in Asia region. I have it in European, and I have in Western, so US region. I have it in 3 different regions, for example, now. And now my intention is, as a CEO, I just want to figure out from each location who are those guys who's actually earning more than an annual salary more than 50 lakhs or something. Okay, so that's exactly what I want to figure out. If that is the case, what will happen is, so I'm interested in each region. So I need to find out in Asia region who is doing it, and in Europe region who is that, and US who's earning the maximum. Okay, and think like, apart from that, I'm just trying to understand in this region who is the guy who's earning the maximum of it. Okay, and in each region who is the guy who is actually earning the maximum. So in case if my data was sitting, all this data was sitting together, okay, and think of a scenario when we speak about Hadoop or any of this environment, that they're going to deal with is not thousands or lakhs of records. It's billions of records that we're talking about, right? So when I'm going to really go and pinpoint to one single record from this 1 billion rows, it's really a time-consuming act, right? So I have humongous number of rows available, and I'm just trying to pull out one single based on certain criteria. It's going to take me hours getting the result back. Yeah, you guys agree to that concept, right? So hope you understand a huge database, a huge, tremendous number of rows, and I just want to pinpoint, go with some criteria and bring maximum of salary from Asia or from India, and then pick the result back, it's really going to run n number of times because I need to do a complete table scan and get this result back, right? That's exactly what's going to happen. One possible solution for this is, in case if I would have partitioned this, in case if I would have partitioned and telling that, okay, my Indian database, okay, whatever is my Indian stuff, I'm going to separately keep it. Whatever is my US data, I'm going to separately keep it. I'm going to European data, I'm going to separately keep it. Okay. If that's going to be the case, what will really happen is when I select something for my maximum amount of salary from India, if I give a criteria, what's going to happen is one single database, it's going to directly go and hit into one single database. Okay. One single partition, and then it's going to pick up. Let's look into very quickly, looking into a slide, how exactly it looks like. So let's bring in a point just to make you guys visualize. So as we always do, it's very important that you visualize the concept rather than just hearing my theory stuff, right? So that's something really required so that you understand what exactly is happening in this environment. I'm just trying to delete it. This guy is adamant, not moving out from here. Let's do Control N. A new one. All right, moved. And next one, what I want to do is remove this guy. So the first concept, what we spoke about, the IBM example. If you want to visualize the correct concepts, what we are going to do is think of, if I do an insert, shapes, and if I take this, I'm treating this as one single database. Okay, one single table, in fact, one single table. And I have randomly, my data is being distributed. I have the entire data sitting over here. See, one is, this has European employee, this is Indian, Asian employee, this is some guys from US, and everyone's data is together. So when I do a search criteria, it needs to scan completely one by one and come up the result. One better alternative solutions for that is, if I have a data, okay, sitting like, I take this example, let it be orange in color, and then I Control C, Control V, and Control V. I make three different groups for it, right? I make 3 different groups for it. And now let me change this color to something different. Let me make it slightly green in color. And the last guy, some difference in color, maybe some yellowish in color. So this is how exactly I'm going to make my grouping now. Okay, so this is one single, our traditional way of without a partitioning, and now I have made my partition. So all my Indian guys are sitting over here, all my European guys are sitting over here, all my US guys are sitting over here. Okay, so when I give a query, like select max of salary, that's just a pseudocode, salary from India. Okay, or let's make this as this is an Asia record from Asia. So what will happen is it's directly go and only make a search over here. So remaining this many table scan need not be done over here. Okay, that's the prime advantage. And it's the same way when it's European so basically from IBM, where location equal to politically more correct, right? Location equal to Asia. So it can directly come and pick it over from here. When I give location equal to this, location equal to Europe, it can directly go and sit it over here. From location equal to North America or something, it can directly come and sit over here. Okay, and then remaining this much data, I'm not even bothered about what exactly is the data. So is the real concept of the partitioning stuff. That's how exactly you can visualize the partitioning thing. Let's execution of it. Okay, so I do have it been executed previously. So let's quickly do partitioning. Okay, so this is what we are going to do now, family underscore part. So since we have it already, let me make it as a temp and then execute this. Okay. So before looking into that, what I really want you guys to know is, since we have already done the Hive dynamic partition mode, restrict and all those things, let's bring it again. Go to my Hive session now. Okay. So now I guess I have multiple instances of Hive running now. Okay, I already have a Hive running over here. Okay, so paste, set non-restrict, and then I'm going to do a underscore temp, and I'm going to copy paste this entire guy. Okay, paste this. Oh, what's happening? Okay, temp already exists. Okay, so we have this table being created. So select, let's do a select star from family. So in our previous execution, it's getting a part underscore temp. Right, yeah, I do have this temple and select, when I do a select star, yeah, there's no data sitting over there. So what you're trying to do now is, we are just going to insert this data into the family underscore part from family. Okay, paste this. Yeah, I'm just trying to execute that and get this data done. Yeah, so the mapper and reduce is executing. Let's quickly do one thing. So first, I want to show you how exactly a data looks in terms of family. Okay, I've just downloaded it. So I'll just show you how exactly the data using the GUI. Okay, let's quickly have a look at how exactly is the data is sitting inside. Oh, the system is getting slow. Okay, so hope you guys remember how exactly we look into our data through a GUI, right? So I just need to use my 50070. This is where exactly I'm going to see my data in. I'm going to use utilities, browse the file system. Come on, it's taking its own sweet time. Okay, so inside user, I'm going to go inside Hive. I'm going to go inside warehouse, and I have my HiveQL database being created, right? So this is my family data, right? So look how exactly my family data look like inside the family table. One single file, which is a acd underscore family.big. This is exactly what we loaded, right? Now, what you need to understand is how exactly my family underscore part underscore temp, how exactly this looks like. Okay, this is what we're going to see now. Let's see whether the process has ended. Yeah, this partition has ended. Okay, so what was my command over here. Okay, so basically I have just loaded the data inside my family underscore part underscore partition. Okay, let's repeat that. It's not inside the temp database that we created. So underscore temp partition select start from family. So that's the reason I was not able to find out anything. Okay, my bad. So let's do that once again. It's not going to be in select underscore. So there's a huge amount of data that would have gone inside family underscore part. That's fine. So we have created family underscore part underscore temp, and that's where exactly we're expecting data. So right now we do not have any data. Let the data come in. It's getting executed. Mapper and reducer process needs to come in because hope you guys remember we were doing partitioning, right? So 3 different partition needs to get inside the database, right? So this is how exactly it's going to happen. Mapper, yep. Completed. So this is what you need to understand. So location, so dynamically it is based on the data that came in, right? So Bangalore data is being put in one single bucket, Dubai data put in one other bucket, and Kerala data. So exactly the way it worked over here, right? Exactly the way it's worked over here is what really happened. So this is Kerala, this is Dubai, and this is Bangalore. 3 different data set is being created and put it. So now let's look into using GUI, how exactly my data is going to look like. Where exactly I can see that, family underscore part and temp, you can see 3 different locations. And basically what will happen is if I open it, okay, if I open it, what you should really see is entire data that is belongs to the Bangalore location will be copied into one single file. This will be a different file. And there are 3 different files altogether being created, okay? And that's something which I have downloaded for you guys to see. Download, and you can see that. So this is exactly what it is. So this is from Bangalore, okay? This is a Bangalore data, and another one which is going to be used will be, download is already there. This will be from a different region, from Dubai, and another one is going to be from Kerala. So that 3 segregation of the data is being done, and that's how exactly the bucket partitioning works. Okay, so hope this clarifies. Any doubt from anyone?
Can you show me, Saji, once again in that particular folder where the partitions were getting created?
Okay, in the browsing folder, right? This one. This you're talking about? Right? Or inside the folder?
So this partitions gets created only this entire mapper and reducer does gets finished, right?
That's correct. So what is happening over here? This is what the mapper and reducer execution. So once this mapper and reducer execution completes, basically what command did we run? That's what you need to understand. So insert into table family underscore debt. So this particular table is where we are inserting the data. Okay, select start from family. So from family, I am taking the entire data and pushing into my family underscore part underscore temp, correct? And here I'm using a partition based on location underscore part, right? So location underscore part is nothing but Bangalore. This is my location. Bangalore, Dubai, and Kerala are my 3 different locations. So based on that, I'm doing a partition and then I'm storing the data, correct? So when I actually do behind the scene, and hope you guys remember the concept, right? Hive, how is it written? Behind the hood. It's entire Java-based system written. So behind the hood, even we have created the Hive, behind the scene, mapper and reducer is what getting executed, right? Hope you guys remember from our previous session. Entire Hive, behind the scene, mapper and reducer is executing. So when I am doing actually this load, what is happening behind the scene, and mapper and reducer is getting executed. So this mapper and reducer is what helping to segregate the data based on Bangalore, Dubai, and Kerala, taking it and putting into different locations, right? So and this is once it's completed, you can see data, Bangalore data is put in this location, Dubai data in this location, and Kerala data is placed in this particular location. Is that clear or?
Yeah, so that means unless this whole process of mappers and reducers gets finished, this partitions won't be created. Only when they get finished, means this creation, this process of partitions creation gets initiated before the reducer task gets finished, or it only gets initiated after the reducer task?
So once this, so basically this partition is happening. So think of a scenario. So you have a huge code written, right? You have a mapper code or a Java code written. So as and when each and every line of that code is getting executed, there is some process happening behind the scene, right? So you will be able to see this data only after the completion of this particular mapper reducer execution. Okay, once this complete execution happens, is what you're going to see the data, segregated data placed over here. So before that, you will not be able to see it.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Shaji. It's now clear. Thanks a lot for clearing my doubt. Thank you.
All right, yeah. So now let's move on to the remaining part of it. Okay, so now let's try to understand. So once it's clear how exactly the partition works. So what I would definitely recommend you guys to do is make sure you are practicing this once. Okay, then to understand, looking to the data, take a small chunk of data. Okay, don't take a pretty huge chunk of data. Take a small chunk of data, and you understand the data pretty well. How exactly the Bangalore data? I mean, in example, whatever is being given to you, try with a different thing, so that you understand it pretty clearly. So we have provided a different data set altogether for you guys, so that you can practice in a different way, and you can see what exactly is the data coming in different partition. Okay, so that you take that small chunk of data, play around with it, and understand how exactly. So once you do it with your hands, it's what the concept is going to be pretty clear for you guys.